This is the Future of Automotive with Steve Greenfield.
Welcome back to the latest episode of the Future of Automotive on CBT News, where we put recent automotive and mobility news into the context of the broader themes impacting the industry. I'm Steve Greenfield from Automotive Ventures, and I'm glad that you could join us. This week we have a special guest joining the show to help us understand how dealers should be looking at optimizing their new vehicle inventory. I've always been surprised at the lack of solutions to help dealers figure out which new vehicles to stock to both drive more profit and eliminate costs in their operations. Our guest on the show today is Christian Miller, the CEO of Dealer Trade Network. Dealer Trade Network is the only company using proprietary data and analytics to inform market strategy and unit placement in the end-to-end new car trade and fulfillment process. The company connects buying and selling franchise dealerships, facilitates payments, and manages the entire delivery process. As a result, dealerships turn their floor plans faster and increase monthly revenue. So let's get right to it and welcome Christian to the show. Christian, it's great to see you and thanks for making time for us.
Hey Steve, great to be with you and really appreciate you having me on the show today.
Great. So let's start with a bit of background on the company. How long has Dealer Trade Network been around, and why was the company originally created?
Yeah, well, it's actually an exciting time for us. We're getting ready to celebrate our 20th anniversary here in March of 2024. So that's an awesome accomplishment for any company, and it's something we're certainly proud of. The reason the company was founded and kind of what we stay true to today is that we are the inventory optimization solution for new car dealers. We realized a long time ago that there was not the right solution for new car dealers to supplement their inventory with what was not allocated them from the OEMs. And we've just leaned into that day after day after day, year after year, and believe we've mastered that process. And now with the availability of technology and data, we're continuing to revolutionize how we deliver that.
Very cool. So this concept around new car inventory optimization is probably going to be new to a lot of dealers. You know, I think we've heard for a decade around used vehicle optimization, buying the right car, stocking the right car, pricing it, et cetera. Tell us a little bit about what the company's mission is.
Our mission is to optimize inventory across all new car dealerships. So we seek to use data to predict, prescribe, and execute deals across the new car landscape and every MSA across the continental US. We use data in an end-to-end way, which I think is extremely powerful. So not only are we just an analytics company that's using data to provide a consultative and partnership approach, but equally we have an entire staff around managing the process. So we have our sales reps and our consultants, but we own our own freight brokerage company, and that allows us to really be that end-to-end fulfillment solution and equally optimize every dealership's inventory across the country. That then allows them to match their floor plan with the market demand by the consumer.
Very cool, very cool. So you personally, you have a very interesting background in automotive, and how did you get involved with Dealer Trade Network?
Yeah, so I've been involved with Dealer Trade Network on a full-time basis since January of this year. Prior to that, my background was really in private equity and venture capital, including spending a time where I just solely focused on the transportation industry and the automotive retail industry. I was part of several great companies, one of which was CarLotch, which is an automotive consignment to retail dealership platform that went public in late 2021. It was an amazing experience, loved working with the team there. It really showed me that there's a lot of ways to be disruptive in the retail space, both on the new car side and the used car side. After that, my wife and I decided to get closer to home. We started growing our family, and so we moved back to Kentucky, where my wife's from. And I was working with some investment firms here in town, and one of them was Venture First, who is one of the investors and owners of Dealer Trade Network. and was helping managing investment, and got to spend some time with the team while they had their tremendous growth year of 2022, where the company grew 100%. Wow. And saw how strong the team was, but also how passionate the team was about solving for the problem in the new car industry around inventory optimization. And so that was kind of a little bit of addicting, and I really wanted to be part of that mission and part of that team, and so decided to make the leap.
Great, great. So I imagine many of the dealers are wondering at this point, like, how best to work with you. So what business results have you seen the product deliver for dealers?
Yeah, well, we certainly can point to the cost side, right? I mean, it's a very interesting time to be a new car dealer with the rise in interest rates. Supply is coming back a little bit, but certainly not back to where it was in the pre-pandemic levels. And so with that in mind, we've been able to help dealerships lower their cost per unit by balancing floor plan costs, right? They don't want stuff sitting on their days for 90, 120 days. And equally, they don't want to be paying down with equity on those vehicles that are really there to be floor planned. And so having the right inventory matched with retail demand and only sitting there for 30, 45 days is going to help them optimize their profitability, not just on the front end, but equally on the back end. And then I think the biggest thing we've seen that we've been able to deliver is really optionality and flexibility. And the allocation model with the OEMs certainly is powerful and does what is needed. But at the same time, the retail market is so fluid and consumer demand is extremely fluid. And what we do is we come in and we just kind of partner alongside those dealerships to be a supplemental solution. You know, normally the allocation strategy is based on several different factors and algorithms that is different from OEM to OEM. And we believe that we can help be that strategy. We have case studies with clients where that is the case, where they may be getting allocated stuff that they don't want. We trade it away, you know, have them sell that off with the allocation or the RDR card. And then we find inventory that we say, like, this is the inventory you should have on your lot. And we'll bring the allocation with that trade. And so that allows them to start building and building and building the allocation for those models that are right in real time for those dealerships and our clients.
As you look across automotive, there's a lot of change going on. What's got you most excited in the automotive industry right now?
Great question. What an exciting time to be in the automotive space. Whether it's between all the technology disruptions, which you constantly highlight, or between the changing consumer behavior. You know, the big talk, right, is kind of direct to consumer and kind of what's going on there. But it is really forcing OEMs and dealerships to evaluate how do they want to optimize their lots. I think for me, some interesting data points is we are still well off of the pre-pandemic sales levels, right? Kind of 2015, 2016, 2017, we were selling, or the industry was selling around 17 million new cars a year. And we have yet to kind of see that. I mean, I know the SAR is floating around 16.1, but we're doing that equally with only 2 million of grounded units, right? And that's certainly progress, and kudos to the OEMs and everything they've been going through the last several years. But to have 2 million on the ground versus the 3.5 million average from the pre-pandemic levels, and then to try and get back up to that historical sales level in the kind of 16.5 to 17 million range, which was a top, right, a peak, to me is fascinating challenge to try and solve for, and which really puts, I think, Dealer Trade Network in an extremely strong position. I think another kind of interesting dynamic happening is the cost structure, what's happening inside new car dealerships. We've had several great, strong years of an inflationary environment where new car pricing has been at all-time highs. And then equally, we now have floor plan rates at 7, 8, 9% versus nothing, right? Prior to that, I mean, I was talking to a client a couple of weeks ago telling me that they barely paid anything in floor plan interest 2 years ago, and they're projecting that they're going to pay 5 to 6 million in new car or in floor plan interest this year. So then to be in that dealership space, thinking about how that change in cost is happening and what are they going to do? Because the lot is not really changing, right? It's the same loss, same overhead, but now we're just adding costs, meaning you have to think more creatively about how do you balance the retail profitability and then also strategically think about the back end profitability. And we believe we are thinking through all that, right? Because if you have the right inventory on your lot, then you're going to be able to build up that consumer demand, brand awareness, because they're going to know you're the go-to leader for the right inventory in that market.
Well, Christian, at this point, I'm sure you whet the appetite for many of our subscribers. If dealers want to find out more about Dealer Trade Network, what's the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, I think the best is to visit our website, www.dealertradenetwork.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm active on LinkedIn and constantly are trying to network with folks, so feel free to message me on LinkedIn or any of my team members. We love networking, not just with dealerships, but anyone in the industry to try and drive partnerships across the board. But probably optimally is the Contact Us page on our website, again, at dealertradenetwork.com.
Very cool, very cool. Well, Christian, thank you for making time for us today. Congratulations to you and the entire Dealer Trade Network team for providing such an innovative and differentiated product for dealers. And I look forward to checking back in a few months to hear how it's going.
Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate you having me today and look forward to staying in touch.
Great. So with that, let's transition to our companies to watch. Every week, we highlight interesting companies in the automotive technology space to keep an eye on. If you read my weekly Intel report delivered to your email inbox at 7 a.m. on Mondays, I showcase a couple of companies to watch. And we take the opportunity here in this segment to share those companies with you. Today, we have two new companies to watch, PaintJet and Mythos AI. Our first company to watch this week is PaintJet, a company focused on painting tomorrow's infrastructure with robotics and AI. PaintJet revolutionizes commercial painting by using robotics and advanced data to achieve high precision application, reducing overspray, and predicting assets' maintenance life cycles. PaintJet is focused on new construction painting, with the promise that PaintJet advanced technology allows for large-scale projects to be completed faster than average. Industries they serve include industrial infrastructure, commercial infrastructure, weatherproofing, and even painting marine ships. Concrete, aluminum, or steel, if it has a surface, PaintJet will paint it. If you're interested in learning more, you can check out PaintJet at www.paintjet.com. Our second company to watch this week is Mythos AI, which is focused on autonomy in the marine space. Mythos AI is developing advanced automation and self-driving for marine vessels. I was actually up on Lake Hartwell in Georgia this week, out on the water in one of Mythos' autonomous boats, and it's really pretty amazing technology to see in action. Mythos has taken everything their experienced team has learned from self-driving autonomous passenger vehicles and created an autonomous framework specific to the marine domain, powered by a cloud-based data platform for the purpose of removing human error from marine navigation. Mythos AI exists to foster healthy ports and keep global commerce moving as efficiently as possible. The company is entirely focused on propelling the marine sector forward in an environmentally responsible, resilient, and equitable reality. If you want to see more about Mythos AI, you can check them out at www.mythos-ai.com. So that's it for this week's Future of Automotive segment. If you're an auto tech entrepreneur working on a solution that helps car dealerships, we want to hear from you. We are actively investing out of our new dealer fund. If you're interested in joining our investment club to make direct investments into auto tech and mobility startups, please join. There's no obligation to start seeing our deal flow, and we continue to have attractive investment deals available to our members. Don't forget to check out my book, The Future of Automotive Retail, which is available at Amazon.com, and keep an eye out for my new book, The Future of Mobility, which will be out at the end of the year. Thanks as always for your ongoing support, and we look forward to working closely together with you to create the future of this industry. Thanks for tuning into CBT News for this week's Future of Automotive segment, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching The Future of Automotive with Steve Greenfield.